a sucker suit on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Capital Region Today. I'm your host, Ann Perillo, and I am so happy that Proctor's has The Lion King here this week. So we're very excited. If you're watching this a little bit later on YouTube, you might have missed it, but it's a great show. But anyway, we've got a great lineup today. We're going to be talking about the Scottish games. Bill Munro is here with his bagpipes again, and we're going to hear a little something from him, a little ditty, I guess, or not really a ditty, but it's really a nice song. And then we're going to be talking about the Armory Studios New York, and they've got Halloween, they've got comedy coming, and always another surprise, who knows? They've got a lovely little lounge there. We'll find out about that as well. And then Don Hyman is here, and he won an award along with Sept for a documentary, I believe, that they did, and we're going to find more about that. That was a national award that they won, so we're going to hear about that. Mary Zawecki is going to be talking about the Arts and Crafts Festival that's coming up at Maybe Farm in Rotterdam Junction. And then my favorite guests are coming here, and we're paying tribute to the Hall of Fame, the Athletic Hall of Fame at Schenectady Schools. And these are great guys. They've done a lot to enhance sports and the Schenectady school system, so I'm so happy about that. So we're going to start right off with Bill Munro. He's going to be playing Balmoral. I heard you. Balmoral Castle. And there he is. And I'm just wondering how somebody sat down and said, let's make a bagpipe.
2,000 years ago, probably.
Exactly.
Not long ago.
And they were probably animal skins that they used.
More than likely shepherds who were herding and used bladder and made themselves a little bagpipe.
Yeah, but if you almost play it like a flute, right? I mean, I see your hands moving like you were playing a flute, no?
Yeah, well, that's what we call a chanter.
Okay.
It's
well, I don't know the right term, sorry.
It's a 9-note scale.
Okay.
So it's limited in its range, but we make do with that by creating our own music underneath. So, but yeah, it's a 9-note scale. This instrument right here probably dates back about 4 or 5. Not that instrument, but the
Unless it's an antique.
dates back probably 400 or 500 years.
Yeah.
Developed in Scotland. The Irish say they developed it and gave it to us, and they've been laughing ever since. But I don't believe that.
Okay, well, that's another show. I know that, let's give a shout out for the Schenectady Pipe Band, because they have won awards as well, right?
Yes, we have. In fact, this uniform, we won Dress Deportment Award in the World Championships in 1987. Not with this jacket, not with this shirt on, but we had the full garb on.
Yeah.
And we won the World Championship in our grade for...
and where was that?
In Glasgow, Scotland.
Scotland. Imagine an American team that won.
There you go.
Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so the Scottish Games are coming up, and it's a one-day event.
That's right.
So you got to be there.
You got to be there.
Okay, so tell me, who's going to be there?
Well, we've got a great lineup for entertainment. Well, number one, we probably got I don't know the latest update, we've probably got about 20 pipe bands coming to compete.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Which means at the beginning of the day, when they all play together, we'll have mass bands
Mass
come
bands.
out.
Oh, I love that.
And it's really pretty impressive with 200 or 300 pipers and another 150 drummers.
I always get goosebumps whenever they come. It's like, oh, and it's not because of the back, it's just like, there's something about the music and the way they march, and there's a whole piece of that.
Yeah, it sure is. Just before that happens, the Sch'dy Pipe Band, by the way, we're 106 years old now, lead the Tartan Parade out. So all the clans who are coming to, they erect tents and they have a lot of genealogy.
They have their names out there,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
what clan they're with.
Yeah, and they have their yells and all that stuff.
I love
you know.
that.
So we lead them out, and then they have the mass bands come on, and then right after that, the entertainment starts in the entertainment tent, formerly known as the beer tent. And,
Oh, you call it the entertainment tent. Oh, you're trying to be,
Yeah, that's right. And we have some great entertainment coming here. Enter the Haggis, the Brigadoons, Cantrip, a guy named Kilted Collin, who is an individual performer.
kilted or tilted?
Kilted.
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 He might be tilted too, who knows?
And he is going to do some, well, I would call it a comedy act about the kilts.
Oh, okay.
And about and what he can do with the kilt on.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, you know, we always have stories about kilts, so anyway.
Yeah. And the McCrills will be there again. So we have great entertainment lined up there. Highland dancing all day long. We've got...
Usually have animals too that.
Yep, we have...
Wes Lair, does he come?
We have a Sch'dy dog show.
Okay.
All 11 breeds, I believe, of Scottish bred dogs. And one of the most important things I think people don't understand is our kiddie events. They are so much fun for the kids. 12 and under come in.
Absolutely.
12 and under come in free. We have most like pony rides and blow up rides and slides.
Yeah,
and
they
things
can
like
get
that.
inside. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And we're going to have a demonstration of birds of prey for them this year. They'll really love that. And then we have them tossing cablers and doing jumping races with burlap tied around their ankles.
Oh,
and
that's
things like
so
that.
cool.
And it's so much fun. And
So they have their own little Scottish game.
Pardon?
They have their own little
They have their own
Scottish
little Scottish games, and they love it. Then we march them around, and while they're marching around, somebody throws candy into a hay pile, and they all dive in and try and get it. So
Oh,
it's
that's
really
so
fun.
cool. Well, I know that that's for the kids, but the adults, if you have never been to these games, you really need to see the tossing the sheep, the haggis, I mean, you name it, you've
Yeah.
got that. And we've always talked about the caber, and how heavy that is. And one of the things that I noticed, it's kind of not straight like a telephone pole. It's kind of narrow at one end. And
Yeah, it's a tree trunk is what it is, and so naturally the closer to the ground is going to be the heavier end of it, and then it gets narrow as you get to the top. So the idea for the athlete is to pick it up on the end that's narrow, and so all the weight is on the top.
And then it's supposed to go 12 o'clock, right?
That's right. He's supposed to be able to flip it, he or she is supposed to be able to flip it so that the end lands and then falls straight away from him, which would be at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I tried it once, and I decided I like bagpipes a lot better.
Well, Greg tried it. He had, well, when they had kind
How'd
of.
he do?
He said, I thought he was an athlete. And
Yeah.
he said, I couldn't do that.
No. I mean, just to get
I
it
mean,
up.
he did it. He got it up, and it just kind of went over.
Just to get it up and get it ready to throw.
Yeah.
It's a feat of.
Well, and I can see them trying to get it so that it's just in the right thing, and then they
Yeah.
run and they do it. The thing that amazes me is we're talking about guys, but how about the women?
Yeah, women are doing it now too. We've been doing a women's portion of this for I think this is probably our 5th year.
Wow.
In fact, the person who runs it, Carrie Russell, who runs our athletics, she took it over about 3 or 4 years after we started with the women, and she's doing a great job organizing.
What is the one that where they kind of have something they twirl
hammer.
around? The
Throwing the
hammer
hammer.
throw. Yeah.
That's the one that worries me more than anything.
Yeah,
They
because
gotta
if you're in
throw
the
that
audience,
way.
you better be behind
I don't want
them
landing in the crowd.
because it can go anywhere.
Oh,
But usually they're pretty good at that. But I do enjoy the tossing of the cheese toss, And it's like they keep raising the bar. I mean, talk about raising the bar. They
Yep.
keep raising it, and you see them, and it's amazing how high they can throw
Crowd
them.
really gets into it too, I'll tell you. They just scream and yell, you know, that they clear it, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, and of course I'm just there. I've got to watch the game because the games are so good. But there's food there.
Oh yeah, lots of food, lots of good Scottish food, meat pies, varieties, haggis. We used to have the
No, you don't really have haggis, do you?
Well, I think we will.
Okay.
But we used to throw
Where do you
it.
get
We
haggis?
used to throw it.
Well, I know they throw it, but
There's an event called tossing the haggis.
yeah, I remember.
And this person had to stand on a whiskey barrel and had 1.5 pounds of haggis, and he had to throw it as far as he could. Meanwhile, the announcer would come up, and he had a mirror, and had to wear a kilt, of course.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I won't go any further with that. You understand. And then we have an event called the Bonniest Knees Contest.
Well, you know, I judged that one year.
Yes, you were.
Oh, that was so much fun. You cannot imagine. I was blindfolded, and I had to feel these guys' knees. Now, that was an experience. One guy had braces on, so I'm...
Did it?
Yes! It was so funny. But we had such a good time doing it.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then what they did is they judged the judges.
Yep.
And who had the best hands. I did not win, guys.
Was Polly Noon in there when you did that?
I don't know, but I think
boy.
Lauren Harrington is the one that won the prize for having the best testing those knees. It's really a lot of fun. And they're wearing kilts, by the way, and they told us that we should not ride up.
Well, some of the judges don't listen.
But we had a great time. So I guess, well, we're almost out of time, Bill, but we need to tell people that they really need to get out there and enjoy another culture. When you immerse yourself there and you go to the different vendors that are there and you see the great jewelry, and a lot of this is traditionally Scottish jewelry, and the clothing, some of it is like I want it all. It's just wonderful. And the sweaters and you name it. So it's an experience to go there and enjoy the entire day. There is a fee to get in, free parking, and the weather's going to be great. Right?
The weather would be great, and I want to tell everyone that the fees, they're $24 at the gate, but if you buy them in advance, it's $18. That's quite a savings.
Buy them online.
And that helps us because naturally,
You know how many.
if we were to get any rain,
Yeah.
which we won't,
Yeah, no,
that
we're not
helps us have a crowd.
And you know, I was there one year when it rained. It wasn't so bad.
No, we the worst storm we ever
You
had.
go to the beer tent.
That's right. That's where everybody goes.
Well, Bill, we'll see you there.
Good.
Yeah, always great to have you on the show.
Yep.
See you next year.
Thank you.
Yeah. Balmoral Castle. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or Scotland the Brave. Who knows?
Okay.
Good. We're going to change our hats here, and we're going over to the Armory, New York, which is just right down the road from us. Armory Studios, because you do studio stuff. LeGere is the owner, and we have Kim Rainey here, and she is the general manager. And then we have Richard Lovrich, and he's the creative director. Creative director, is that right? Okay,
Sure.
good. Okay, good. I want to get your titles right. So, anyway, Kim, are you going to kick us off here? With,
I am, and I have to apologize. I need to read my notes because the accolades of this gentleman are just amazing. So Friday,
Gentlemen, are you talking about Ray again?
no, not those no, enough about this. No, Friday we have our inaugural comedy night. We have a nationally known comic who is coming to our little venue. His name is Eddie Pepitone. They call him the master of the dark comedy as well as the bitter Buddha. So if the name perhaps sounds familiar, or when you see his picture, he's familiar because he has appeared on Conan O'Brien, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the Jimmy Kimmel Live Show, Last Comic Standing, Chappelle's Show, Bob's Burgers, and he's a regular on Adult Swim's hilarious and dark Your Pretty Little Face is Going to Hell. We're so thrilled and honored to have someone of this
That's
caliber
wonderful.
kicking off our first
You're
event.
going to be doing this in the Armory Lounge?
Downstairs
Oh,
in the
downstairs.
officers'
In the
club.
officers'
Yep,
club. Okay,
yep.
good.
And with him is a young man who is actually from Ulster County, went to SUNY New Paltz. His name is J.T. Haberstadt, and he in his own right is amazing. He's been deemed the godfather of punk rock comedy. By the Chicago Now articles, and he's headlining the groundbreaking Altercation Comedy Tour for over a decade. If you haven't had the chance to hear these guys, just YouTube them. They're absolutely hilarious. We couldn't put up too many of their clips on our Facebook because, we didn't. Hysterical.
It's sort of like the Kills over here.
Yes, yep. And tickets are on sale right now, and you can get those right from ArmoryStudiosNY.com. Give you a little hint, if you use the promo code ASNY, our code,
ASNY?
as in Armory Studios New York, we're going to give a $5 discount. So put that in the
that's
code.
good.
Yep, our
Yeah.
promoter gave us that just for the folks here today.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so that's what we've got going on there. That's
How do you like being
exciting.
there, working there?
I love it. So much fun.
He doesn't have to listen.
No, he doesn't. But, I tell everyone I'm a recovering banker. So getting out of that box and being able to use creativity and more of both sides of the brain and putting together some, fabulous shows and events and just building something basically with these two from the ground up is a lot of fun. A lot
So
of fun.
you've got a good team here, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. They make everything look good.
Yeah.
That's for darn sure. Kim has totally knocked it out of the park. The other Kim, not this one, of course.
Never me.
No, not at all. Seriously, she's a force to reckon with, and I just do whatever I can to support her and moving forward.
Well, let's face it, I think when you and your cousin, Jeff, purchased the Armory, everybody wondered, what are they going to do with that?
Yes, but we wondered as well.
And look what's happened there. I mean, we're talking now, I think you're going to be talking about Halloween. What are you doing for Halloween?
Let me read, I'll read you the official statement, okay?
The official statement.
Armory Studios New York and your friends, the Mopco Improv Theater, dare you to endure the region's rain or shine indoor fright spectacular. To survive, you must navigate the ghastly underground lair of the castle's mad doctor, Dr. Schenectenstein. And
A Dr. Was connected.
Dr. Schenectenstein, actually. And his
That's
horde.
Steen, not Stein.
That's right. And his horde of insatiable zombies, creeping spiders, bloodthirsty bats, and dreaded mutant abominations. Will you escape the clutches and tell the shocking tale of your dreaded, or will you share the dreaded fate of those eternally trapped between the world of the living and the dead in Armory Studios New York, the Castle of Terror?
That's amazing.
So you know how much fun Mopco is?
I know, Marco. They're so good.
Yeah, there are fright Imagineers on this, and
So how big is this, and what, I mean, I imagine there's a fee, of course, because
yes,
it
of
makes
course,
sense.
yeah.
So how big and how long? I mean,
Early,
if I went
early
in there.
bat special, by the way. Early bat special going on right now.
Okay.
At ArmoryStudiosNewYork.com.
That's-
You have the scoop, by the way. This is the first time we're announcing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We figured if we told you, everyone would hear about it.
That's right.
You're such a blabbermouth. So, but you also have another, Harvard, what is it, the other one that you have?
That's exactly right. Out in our Studio B, for the folks who prefer spooky to scary, we have Hollowed Harvest, The Wicked Labyrinth, which is
The
an
Wicked Labyrinth.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
just a wonderful pumpkin show. And yes, there are some spooks and a little bit of popping, but it's not, you don't need a diaper, let's put it that way.
Would this be for, okay, let's talk about ages, because I'm always interested
Yes,
in, when
absolutely.
I do that with plays and everything. I'm assuming that your Mansion of Terror Mansion, sorry, I don't remember.
Castle of Terror,
Castle of
13
Terror.
plus.
That's okay.
I got it.
PG-13, Ann, PG-13.
13 and up.
13 and
Okay,
up.
that's what I would
Yeah.
want to know. And then the other one is any age, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Family friendly, yeah.
And probably your Halloween must-see tourist is going to probably come see both, to be perfectly frank. But, again, if you want the really, really scary, you go for the castle.
Okay, now how long is this gonna run? Because I'm gonna help, because I know a lot of people who are really into Halloween, so we need to get this word out, because there hasn't been anything in the area that I'm aware of
It's true.
like this.
It's true.
So,
And
yeah,
this to me is, and your venue is just perfect for it.
It's creepy.
You do a little creepy.
It's
Yeah, you are a
creepy.
little creepy
Not
anyway,
me.
right?
so the cool thing about that, Ann, it's in an area of the Armory that the public has probably never seen.
Very true.
We're opening up some of the
And may
back
never
areas.
see again.
And
if
may
they-
never see, correct. Our
If
castle.
they're lost in there.
Yeah. Oh, well, we do have a few little precautions in place for that. We don't want them wandering around. The Castle of Terror opens on Friday night, October the 6th.
Oh, so you're going to be early, so
Yes,
you run a
yep.
whole month.
Absolutely.
Friday and Saturdays for the first weekend, and then the second weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Again,
So
Friday.
it's a weekend event.
Yes, except for the week of Halloween, we will also be there on Wednesday, Thursday, leading up to Halloween.
Okay,
The Wednesday,
good.
Thursday, Friday.
Will it
until
run after
Halloween.
Halloween, or does it stop on Halloween?
We have a hard stop right on Halloween. Our pumpkin friends start on September 26th, and they go
Oh, that's
a
closer,
couple of
because
days.
Pumpkins don't last that long anyway.
Right, that's good.
Yeah. So yeah, we're super excited by this.
But Ray has something to add as well, because we have a very special feature of Castle of Terror, and that is its charitable component.
Yeah,
It's
we-
what?
Charitable. What we're
Oh,
doing
okay,
is.
that's good. So for what is the charity?
Yes.
You.
No, not me. No.
Raise the charity, so be sure.
Charity case.
No, I'm kidding.
When we bought the Armory 10 years ago, we always thought it was a great place for a Halloween event of some nature. And of course, I do like supporting the not-for-profits in the community. And we are donating a portion of the proceeds to all the not-for-profits that register with us.
Oh, nice.
So any 501c3 can join the pool. And there's going to be information probably on
Soon, yeah. Up on the
Okay.
website, yep.
how they can register. But basically, we're going to give a lot of money back to the charities.
Well,
As a fundraiser.
you've always been a give-back guy, kind of guy. He really has. And he's been involved in the community quite a bit, so. Now, we haven't touched on a couple of things, and first is your Armory Lounge, which I think is lovely.
It's nice. We converted the Veterans Lounge into the Armory Lounge, which is has a full-service bar plus food, and right now we're serving the people that are going to Van Gogh. So we get a lot of people that go in Van Gogh, have a cocktail, have a lunch, and have a dinner or whatever.
Right,
They come in,
right.
they eat. So it's been very helpful for that. We've had some musical acts in there, cross-training in there, if you will.
yeah.
But more
So, and
important,
it is rent, you can rent that as well, if
it is
you wanted
rent,
for an
yes.
event.
Well, Kim can speak to that.
Sure, yeah, so we have both the Armory Lounge, which is upstairs, and we also have the Officers Club.
I was gonna talk-
Yeah, so being an old armory, there's a huge mess hall, and what do you do with this big space? We're pretty fortunate because it's pretty
You serve on
cool.
tin plates, is that it?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Army
It's a
hats.
very good idea.
Yeah, so we decided to reimagine it, and we have renamed it the Officers Club. We have this beautiful, metal handmade sign, that's the Officers Club. There's a stage, there's a dance floor, we've hosted lots of different
Little
events.
USO.
Yes! We've had a couple of proms there, Brown School and McKeel both did their proms with us. Our first wedding is in a couple of weeks. We've done baby showers, we've done galas, we've done
I
dinners.
gotta
We-
come over and see that.
You
see what-
do, and a couple non-for-profits already have had events there, and we're filling up, for Christmas time and other events coming up soon. So we're pretty excited by the interest in the public for this space. Yeah, stay tuned, we got a murder mystery coming, we've got the vagina monologues, we got all kinds of stuff coming.
Yeah, get that word out, and you're welcome to come on anytime and talk
Awesome,
about
thank
these. Because
you.
these are great events downtown, and it draws a lot of people, and I know that Ray, you've gotten some pats on the back wait a minute, let's talk about Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which is not quite Van Gone.
It's Van staying.
Well, Van Gogh did something I think that surprised everybody, frankly, in that it really changed Armory Studios New York from a major television studio and to the region's newest important entertainment destination. Hundreds of thousands of people have come through, and it's your fault, everyone, that Van Gogh is still running. Because unlike a Broadway show, which has stars that need to be here or there next, as long as you folks kept coming, they kind of kept selling tickets.
Yeah, we had like an end date, we had
That's
an end
right.
date, and then we had an end date, and then we had an end date, and then we had an end, the
Yeah.
latest one was August the 6th, and it was still running.
Really, frankly, it's not our show, obviously.
No, I
It's
know
their
it's
show.
not.
But it's really been driven by sales.
Yeah.
And it's been such a successful show, far beyond their expectations, as Ray would share as well, far beyond. They expected to be
Well,
shut down months
the
ago.
thing about the Van Gogh, if you haven't seen it and it's still running,
Yes, it
get
is.
over there and see it, because this is an amazing immersion to go into. But from what I think you and both Richard and Raymond said, this venue is not a Kmart.
No.
Yeah.
It's not
That's right.
a warehouse. You have a venue that is amazing and with a 50-foot ceiling, if I recall.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is uniquely qualified to host this, and when they first came, they were undecided whether or not the Capital Region could support a show of this nature. And we proved them wrong.
Yeah.
The Capital Region has really come up to the plate.
Well, they were coming in from the Canadian border, and they're coming in from everywhere to see it.
France, a couple came from France, I asked them how the show was, they didn't speak English, but they flew from France to...
But if they said très bien, you knew.
Yeah. So they came to JFK, and on their way over, they were looking online, and they saw this in Schenectady. So they landed at the JFK, they drove up to Albany, and then headed out to Buffalo, just to show. So it's a magnet for different groups coming
Yeah,
in here.
yeah.
Grandparents are bringing their grandkids, they fly in from Georgia, meet the kids, they go to the show, and then go somewhere else.
Well, I was there one time, well, I've been there a few times because I think it's an amazing show. But there was a whole group of kids with their teacher in there, and I thought, oh, what a wonderful way to immerse kids in art.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm just going to
Go ahead.
interrupt and put in my plug for my cute little lounge. We do have some very tasty Van Gogh themed specialty cocktails that you can walk around with your little drinky drink during the event. Oh, yes. Some very fancy stuff. We got one with your name on it waiting for you, Ann, so you just show up.
Just go in and ask for the Perillo.
Yes, ask for the Perillo.
After that, after I leave the beer tent.
Yes.
You know, there's a bit of a coincidence too,
What?
right? Because you know me as the Proctor's guy for 13 years
Oh,
as
my
well.
gosh, yes.
And one of the most dreaded terms for me in marketing is, this show is for everybody. It's always wrong, almost.
This one is.
Almost, except for Lion King and the Van Gogh
Yeah.
exhibit. We have seen people of every possible description come through. There is no way to pigeonhole a Van Gogh, just like, frankly, a Lion King patron.
No.
They really are shows that please everyone. You can bring the kid from next door, the old lady from down the block, and everyone raves about both of them. So it's a funny coincidence that they're both there. And I promise that it's going to be a visual artist next, as far as we understand. And I think everybody's going to be extremely pleased with the next choice
So
of
you're
show.
not going away, huh? These things are going to
That's
continue
right.
happening, and you're going to squeeze in a few TV productions, and
We have bookings right now in Studio B. We have bookings
Talk
right now.
about this guy. He's got his radar. He's like this.
I'm surrounded by good
I'm
people.
just getting, you're like a big
Was that
bat
the
with your
ra-
big
the-
ears
the
out there.
radar?
What can I do?
Radar.
Radar, yeah.
Well, what's great is when they see that this event is happening, and they come up and they make a weekend of it. I had a great couple up
Yeah.
last Friday. They wanted to see this. They were staying at the landings. They were asking, where can we go for this? Where can we go for that? So people are building weekends around coming to see
Well,
the
we've
Van
got the
Gogh.
casino, we've got entertainment at the casino, we've got
bet.
entertainment.
We have
at that-
entertainment
We've
all
got
over.
theaters, the Slock, we've got civic players, we are a magnet. This is Schenectady. Yay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
guys.
you
Thank
so
you.
much,
I'm gonna come
Ann.
over for a tour. I gotta see that mess hall.
Anytime, you just step on in. Thank you so
We'll
much
see
for
you guys.
having
Oh, it's
us.
so good to
Thank
see you
you.
guys. Okay, and look who's here. My friend, Don Hyman. Don, you are an amazing man. I'm gonna say this, he's a historian, he's a reenactor, he's a musician, he sings, he knows every kind of genre of music, it seems. He can tell you a story about everybody who's ever performed. But what happened here with the documentary? Was it a documentary?
Yes, actually it is a documentary, and I have to go back to the Albany Institute of History and Art, and once again, Ann, thank you for having me on the show. what started was a relationship I had developed with the Albany Institute of History and Art to do some programs with them. And the person originally, Patrick, who I worked with, had left and turned it over to a wonderful young lady named Sarah Clough. And we got to meet, and what happened was I submitted to her a couple proposals of different things we could do in terms of programs that year. And one of them was something with gospel, a couple of local artists. And then I realized that they had an exhibit about the railroads.
Yeah, now you mean railroad or underground railroad?
The railroads.
The railroads, okay.
And one of the things about the railroads was the light bulb went off in my head. I had written and directed a production at Cafe Lena called Conversations in Freedom with two actresses, and we performed it there as part of the Martin Luther King Saratoga celebration, and I proposed it to her that we include this because it was about the Pullman porters.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and their legacy, and we could include this with their exhibitors. So she said, right on, let's go. So we got together, and I found two very fine actresses, local, Kim Wafer, who I've worked with over the years, and Amelia Paul. And I played the part of A. Philip Randolph, who, as you may or may not know, what became in the 50s the vice president of the AFL-CIO, which was a far outstanding achievement for some African-American man at that time. And later on, he would be responsible for the March on Washington with Dr. King and for Job and Freedom. But the undertaking, as we decided to do it, we wanted to film it. I did the costumes. We decided to film it at the Albany Institute of History and Art with the help of Sarah Clough. Zeb came in. We were going to also provide it for live streaming, and we were going to have a day where it would be shown a live stream, and we'd have an audience of people who could do a Q&A with me about the Pullman porters and that type of thing.
And how did you do the research on the Pullman porters? Did you ever find any, or?
Yes, actually, there were lots that lived in this area, because what they did was during the 20s and 30s, Albany, of course, was a big stop.
It was a hub.
Right, as well as New York City. And the Pullman porters, when they got a chance to stay, there were places in Albany where they actually stayed. So we found one man who actually stayed there. We did some research on him. But for the most part, the background of it is really weird, because the gentleman that decided that the trains should be like hotels for people. They should be comfortable. And he decided the people that he wanted to be the waiters on this would be African-American men. And it became one of the bigger and better jobs around the turn of the century, except the working conditions were intolerable. There were long hours. They had to sleep in the kitchen while the train was moving. They didn't get very much time to break the train down and start the next one. So the idea of forming a union came about in the 20s, and they reached out to A. Philip Randolph. So we worked on this, and that particular Saturday, I'll never forget this, is when we got Jeremy Clough also to come in to assist with Zeb and putting this production together.
He's with Open Stage Media.
Yeah, all these wonderful people that we got together on this. And I'd chosen this because most people don't understand that battle, that fight to get that first union that African Americans had in the 1930s.
1930s?
Yes.
They were able to form a union?
Thank God for FDR, because
I would never have guessed that.
they had been, it's a long, hard battle with a lot of violence involved, but the people that did the most to help it happen were women. So Amelia Paul and Kim Wafer played these two women whose job was, their husbands worked for the railroads, and they would have these secret meetings of the wives, and they would pass information and notes, have these little meetings, and make sure they would get to the next stop. They had to do this in secretly, because if they found out that you were trying to be a part of this union, you would automatically be fired.
Wow, and it's going on today.
But these women who are unsung heroines, shall we say, I wanted people to know about them, because they continued their fight.
They were behind the scenes, but they continued it to make it happen.
They continued to work with A. Philip Randolph, even through the March on Washington. So I wanted their stories to be stories that people didn't know about. and be able, children could learn from this. So the thing that happened was, Zeb and I are members of the Alliance for Community Media, and we had not.
That's a national organization, by the way.
Yes, it's national. So I said, Zeb, we need to put that one up as a possibility for an award, and I just forgot all about it. And all of a sudden I get this email, and Kim called me, and we went, our conference this year, last year was in Chicago, this year was in my home, Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, and we stayed in Brooklyn. In fact, Zeb and I took him around the corner.
I'll bet you took them around.
No,
You know everything.
when at the second grade, I lived in that area downtown Brooklyn. In fact, I remember being sitting home from school because President Kennedy had got shot. So am I giving my age away? Yeah, I'm that age. But Spike Lee's studio, 40 Acres and a Mule, was around the corner from where our conference was being held at Brick. So we took a little tour, and I showed Zeb the house where I lived at, South Portland, right up the DeKalb, and near Long Island University, a couple blocks up from where the Brooklyn Paramount used to be, and Junior's Restaurant. So we all managed to get to Junior's. I had a reunion with a high school friend that I hadn't seen in maybe 30 years. We met at Junior's for breakfast, and we talked about meeting in '72 at a summer youth employment program. His brother-in-law, Jimmy Smith, the actor, he talked about his kids and his grandkids. I talked about teaching up here. In fact, I had a wonderful summer school experience with working with Miss Redinger and Miss Cook in North Albany.
Okay.
Summer school with 6th graders. And I sent them a link to this video, and Miss Cook just emailed me today, and she says, "Oh, that was really awesome. You really did that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I didn't do this for me. Zeb and I were the editing that Zeb did to this piece."
Oh, he's a fabulous editor.
It brought out a lot of the primary documents, the people. We found the right music and the tone and everything, the sound effects. It was really a work of art. And that night when the award ceremony was there, and Jeremy, Zeb, and I all sat together, like with people from California, Colorado, Connecticut, Detroit, Alaska, we sat there representing Schenectady. And when we lined up and they called our names, and we walked up to receive the award, I didn't receive it just for myself. Coming back to Brooklyn, this was a homeboy coming home, right? And at the same time, working with Zeb and this new family I found here in the Capital Region, because you were just talking about Schenectady and all the arts here. I have performed more anywhere in my life here in Schenectady. Here at Proctor's, with SLOC, Hamilton Hill Arts Center, your show. I've just done it. But I just want to send a thanks out to you for always being so supportive and wonderful, because I want to do these things so that we can not just entertain people, but educate them about people.
But you've told the story of the Pullman porters. You've told that story. Now it's going to be carried on, because that's what you've done, right?
That was the idea. When children around the world, because the link is on our archives here at Open Stage Media. So if someone wants to see it, just go to Conversations on Freedom, Open Stage Media, video on demand. That's Conversations on Freedom, Open Stage Media, video on demand, and it'll pop up.
So how long was the documentary that you did?
The documentary is about 15 minutes. I mean, we wanted to pack it all in. We didn't
Yeah,
want
because you got to figure that if it's going to be shown, they're going to have to. I think there's certain stipulations about length of time on some of those.
Yeah, well, we worked that out, but the bottom line was, when I saw it, and I saw what Zeb had done to bring it to fruition, it was a work of art. It really was a work of art. It will stand the test of time, and I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of Sarah Clow, Jeremy Clow, Kim Wafer, Amelia Paul, and especially Zebulon Schmidt, all of us working together as a team to make this happen on that one long Saturday, to film this little piece of thing. Took all day with the lighting and the technicians and everything.
They're amazing. Open Stage is amazing, and Jeremy and Zeb are so cooperative, and as you can testify.
And you too. Thank you all for being a part of my life, everybody here, and I just look forward to coming back and seeing you in the near future. In the near future.
Yes, I know.
Okay? To all my kids in Montessori, I'll see you in September. Peace and chicken grease.
Don Hyman. If you haven't heard him, he does perform and in various venues. And so, anyway, check him out. When you see his name out there, you'll know you're going to get a great performance. He performed for an organization that I'm involved with, and he comes back again and again. Now, he gives a new show every time. You have never repeated a show.
Honey, nothing here. Everything, every day is a new day, so why should I bring back old bread? Where do we put old wine in the new bottles? Not the Donald. I'm out of here. Peace and chicken grease.
Thank you, Don. Okay, can you top that, guys?
Wow.
It's a tough act to follow.
It's a tough act to follow.
Maybe a little.
We've got some posters here that we'll be picking up on that camera, but I'm so, Bob, I'm glad that you're here today and bringing two tributes.
Yes.
Yeah, legacy and a tribute, right?
Yes.
How long have you been doing this? Because you seem to be the person that I'm always seeing.
This is our 25th dinner.
Yeah.
So it's the 25th year. So we've got with John's induction, there'll be 75 people in our Hall of Fame, and we've had some fun with it, and this year's dinner is the 25th, so we have some special plans for this year.
And I got to share with you that next month is my 25th for this show.
I noticed that.
Isn't that something?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Who knew? This was just supposed to be a lark to do it for a week or so, and here I am, 25 years later, still doing it. Oh, well. So we need to talk about, first of all, we're going to talk about you guys, but let's talk about, because John is here, let's talk about Jim. Let's start out with Jim. Talk to me about him. What is he? Is he going to be legacy or tribute?
He's an inductee. He's going
an
to be a Hall
inductee.
of Famer.
Okay,
He had an outstanding running career at Mount
Okay,
Pleasant
can you
High
pick
School.
him up? Yeah, you got him on the screen here. Okay, so tell us a little bit
He
about
was
Jim.
on a state championship Mount Pleasant cross-country team in 1958. In the spring of 1959, he won and set a new record in the 440 in the state meet. He actually broke the record of Lou Jones, who later set a world record and was an Olympic champion.
Wow.
Then Jim Scott went on to Alfred, where he had an outstanding
He's
collegiate
got
career.
an
where
Alfred
he was-
shirt on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's give another shout out to the person who put this collage together because it's really quite impressive.
That's Tony Cristello, a Mount Pleasant alum. He's been with us since day one. He just does great artwork for us, paintings, collages. I don't know where we'd be without him, but he's super.
So now you have a collage for every one of the inductees?
We do, and we'll have virtually all of them on display at Rivers Casino, the event center, on the night of the dinner on September 11th.
And anyone is invited. I
Yes.
don't mean to have my back to you, but I'm
No,
looking here.
no, no.
I'm sorry. Nobody knows that, I guess. They can't tell I'm doing that. The thing is that anybody can come to this,
Yes,
right?
it's open to the public.
It's open to the
Yes.
public. Okay. So.
We have people coming in from Texas, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, all over.
Yeah. Now who's Gary Prisbilla?
Gary Prisbilla was a basketball All-American at Linton in 1968.
Okay.
He was second team All-State. He was All-County Player of the Year. He was also the New York State high jump champion and the Eastern
jump?
States high jump champion. He
Wow.
went 6'7", and he was not
Is
even
high jump
6'1".
a pole vault or no?
No, a little different.
Okay.
No pole involved.
You just got to run and jump.
Yeah, it was before the Fosbury flop, so
Okay.
he was an outstanding jumper. He went on, he received a scholarship to Michigan State, and after college, he became a basketball coach at Mohonasen, where he won a sectional championship, and he's in the Upstate New York Basketball Hall of Fame. His father was the coach, by the way, so he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the State Hall of Fame, too.
He's in the Upstate Basketball Hall of Fame, yes.
Wow, okay, so Jim and Gary have gone on to continue with their athletic prowess.
Jim will be here. He's in Florida. That's why he's not with us today.
Okay.
Gary will be honored posthumously.
Okay, all right. And John DeMeo. John is here, right?
John is with us.
John.
John has quite a resume. He was a four-sport standout at Mount Pleasant, all-time leading scorer in football. He's two-time wrestling champion, sectional wrestling champion at Mount Pleasant.
Wrestling and?
Oh, I haven't even touched on baseball and track yet. I'm serious. He was four-sport standout. He's in the Section
That's
2
amazing.
Wrestling Hall of
That
Fame.
is amazing.
Yeah, He's in the Section 2 Wrestling Hall of Fame. He was a Greco-Roman All-American. He was on a national championship team at Brockport. He qualified for both the Olympic and, and Pan American trials.
The Pan American Games. Oh
Yes.
my gosh, yeah.
And beside his wrestling accomplishments, he was an all-star baseball player at Mount Pleasant, and he was on 2 track relay teams that won the Eddie meet.
Okay, John, tell us about yourself.
Well,
Because I don't think he covered everything. Because you probably, I bet you were tiddlywinks.
he covered-
Champion too.
Bob covered quite a bit, but I just want to thank Bob and the committee and, all the effort that they put in, to obviously put this thing together, the Hall of Fame, and he started it. And it's an honor to be a member of, the great athletes at
Were you
Schenectady.
surprised?
Yeah, I was. I got the call. My wife and I were just watching Jeopardy or something, I remember. And when Bob gave me the word that...
Where do you
I was
live? You live
inducted.
in locally or?
We live in Saratoga.
Oh, Saratoga, so you're
Saratoga
local,
Springs,
yeah.
yeah.
So what happened after all of this? What happened? Did you open a car dealership or what?
No. My teachers and coaches had a great influence on me, and I was with them, after school quite a bit for most of the 4 years. And I became a physical education teacher
Phys ed, okay.
based on the influence that my coaches had and teachers had on me,
Yeah.
and taught
Well, it
the-
was a natural.
Yeah,
It
I
was a
think
natural.
maybe. I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was, didn't look at it as work, obviously. It was.
Well, what do they say? If you enjoy what you're doing, you never work a day in your life.
This is true, and I was fortunate to do that.
Yeah.
And I taught there for 36 years, coached 4 different sports at
Where
4
did you
different
teach?
levels. Bethlehem Central.
Oh, Bethlehem.
Just
Okay.
outside Albany and Delmar.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Bethlehem is.
Had great staff, great athletes, student athletes. It was just a wonderful district.
Well, you were an inspiration.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
Well, I
sure
mean,
about
you
that.
have to
but
be an
I-
inspiration with this. Did they know this?
Some may have, but,
I was going to say, because you probably didn't have a poster like that sitting
No,
in your office.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
So you
I-
were just coached to that.
I did have posters or things that, my coaches had,
Yeah. So
obviously
that,
influenced me with. Coach Mulvaney was a big one, and I had a couple of things of him up there, and, just some comments about,
so a few people knew other than, the coach, there's the coach.
Yeah,
right?
they may have. And
But I mean, the
and-
fact that you even, qualified for Olympics and Pan American Games, I mean, that's,
And the staff that was there, the coaching staff knew of me because
of
I
course
was
they did.
local.
Yeah.
And most of them were local, and they had been coaching there a few years. And,
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So we're going to go over to Frank DeSarbo here. Hi, Frank.
Hey, how are you?
Okay, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Getting
doing
this
okay, thank you.
You're the legacy, right? You're doing legacy.
I guess.
that what
I
it
am.
is?
It's a legacy tribute to 1955-56 Nott Terrace basketball team.
Basketball player.
He was. It was an outstanding team. Some think it's one of the best ever, not only in Schenectady, but in Section 2.
I remember those Nott Terrace Mount Pleasant games,
Yeah.
right?
All right.
Talk about,
a little bit of a
boy, the
rivalry.
old town got,
Well, we have a Mount Pleasant guy here and a Nott Terrace guy.
Yeah.
So, but it was an outstanding team, won the sectionals, won the Class A league, coached by Walt Prislow, Gary's father. And, some of their better players were Tom Mossy, who went on to excel at Syracuse, Ducky Castell, who was on an NIT championship team at Xavier in 1958, and Murray Melton, who was the high scorer as a sophomore at Columbia University, and Frank, who was a very important player on that team.
wow.
They outscored their opponents by 23 points per game.
23 points, that's a lot, because, I mean, those games when it was like 2 points here and 1 point there and 2 points there, and you're you're looking for the long shot. They didn't even have those 3-pointers at that time.
No.
Remember though? Oh yeah, those 3-pointers, they come in from out of the blue and bam,
Yeah.
run up that score. So what did you do after your basketball career?
Well, joined the Army,
Okay,
put some time in the Army. Got out of the service, went to work for 9 months Niagara Mohawk.
okay. Well, you were a lineman, you climbed up, no.
I was a foreman in gas operating.
Okay,
And 39 and a half years, had a good career.
yeah,
Part-time police officer, and got married, raised a family.
what a life.
Had a good career.
Yeah, that, and did you ever play basketball after that?
Yes, I did. Played in the City League
City
with the
League.
Mount Pleasant boys. We joined together in the City League.
Sure, because the conflict is gone after that. I mean, once you're out of high school, it's all behind you, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just hearing this. Okay, John.
I don't know about John, but the guys we hung around from Mount Pleasant out there, we all got along great.
Yeah,
We did too.
he would have gone on. He's a nice guy.
He is.
So the event is going to be at the Rivers, and
Yes.
it's on September the 11th, if I
Yes,
recall
Monday,
correctly.
September 11th, yes.
Yeah, and what would they expect if they came? Suppose they want to meet these gentlemen and the others that are going to be here.
There's a reception that'll begin at 4:15. These 3 collages will be on display, as well as the others from the
Probably in
previous
the
years.
entrance hall, yeah.
Yep, that's the entranceway
Yeah.
where you enter. We'll also have videos throughout the evening. We're going to show the original tribute video from 1998 of the 5 coaches we inducted that very
Oh,
first
my
year.
goodness. Were you on the show? No, you couldn't have been
No,
on the show
not
in
then.
98,
No, I don't know the first year we
No,
started
I can look
coming
it up,
down.
though. I'll let
Yeah.
you know. I'll email you.
And now we'll have collages there of Pat Riley, Barry Kramer, Billy Connors, Shirley Muldowney, the race car
The race
driver.
car, yeah.
John,
She went to
she went to Nott, Terrace.
Yeah, Nott, Terrace.
John Grabowski played with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig on the 1927 Yankees. So we'll have all those collages there.
And my cousin actually was one of your.
Joe
Yeah.
was a great
Yeah,
runner at
Johnny,
Nott.
Johnny.
Johnny, yes.
I thought,
Joe's
I have a Joe, but I knew that it
Joe's-
wasn't him.
Joe's our photographer.
Yeah, okay,
for
and
the
Joe
event.
Perillo.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, John was a great runner at Nott Terrace, and
Yeah.
then at
He's a track star. I think.
yeah, he would have been there, I think, just before you. John Perillo.
Oh, John,
runner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So no, he was a great runner at Union afterward.
I know, he went to Union after and became a urologist, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have dinner, and then we'll have ceremonies where the Legacy Tribute Team will be honored, and then we'll induct the 3 new individuals. We'll
They get a
have
nice little
tribute
plaque,
videos.
they get a nice plaque.
They'll get a bronze plaque at the high school up on the wall, and then they'll get a plaque to take home with
You
them.
guys, you're immortal now. Immortal.
We're
So
definitely-
I'm really glad to see that you're carrying on that tradition of, recognizing. It's, my husband was just recognized by his high school in Nebraska. So it was an honor, a big thing like you're doing. So I understand how important it is to recognize what people have done in the past and not forget it. History is very important.
It is.
And you stand these up as mentors and as role models.
We've had some outstanding individuals inducted. I mean, Barry Kramer became a New York State Supreme Court judge.
Right.
Pat Riley's in the Basketball
Yeah, I
Hall of Fame
remember
in
Pat Riley,
Springfield. We've had many educators, John being one of them, many successful people. And we'll come together we'll have red and blue. We'll try to
Well,
keep
the point is, it's all Schenectady.
It's right. And so it's been a fun event to bring people together now, especially since we have one high school in the town. It's no
Exactly.
longer, 2 high schools.
We've talked about these gentlemen, What about you?
And just,
How did you get started in this?
Ray Cluciello was the superintendent at the time. He'll be at the dinner. It was after Pat Riley had the gym named in his honor. And Pat was very humble about that, and he thought coaches should be recognized. His coach was Walt Prislow, Gary's father. And powers to be at the time said, we'll start a Coaches Hall of Fame. So I was asked to be on a committee to start a Coaches Hall of Fame. And before,
Were you an athlete in school?
Yes, I played basketball at Linton, actually with Gary.
Okay,
So,
good. There you go.
so anyway, I was asked to be on a committee, and before you knew it, it became an Athletic Hall of Fame, and the rest is history. And we have a great
it's
committee.
nice to address coaches, but the coaches kind of spurred on others. Not that, I'm glad you're a coach, but I'm saying, before that, you were not a coach. You were an athlete, and that's why it's important to recognize the athletes that the coaches have brought.
John played for a Hall of Fame coach, Larry Mulvaney.
There you go.
Frank played for Walt Prislow, a Hall of Fame coach. So these coaches in the beginning, Bill Eddy and people like that, Ray Vaca, we were very fortunate. Sig Makovsky, his record is just unbelievable in Schenectady history. So
Well, we're really, we're proud of Schenectady to begin with, because we've just talked about all the great things that are going on, and I know you saw about the Armory and so many other things. You know, people just kind of go, oh, Schenectady. No, there's a lot here, you know.
It's a great history.
It's got a great history, and we need to recognize that. I want to thank you all for being here, and congratulations to both of you
Thank you
for
very
being
much.
honored.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know who your committee. Who's your committee that picks?
Well, we have 12 or 13 people on
Yeah,
the
so
committee.
they're looking at
right.
resumes.
I mean, they're former athletes in Schenectady, administrators, teachers, you know, both sides of town, you know, from both schools.
So if you didn't get chosen, don't blame.
To be honest with you, there are 215 names still on the list, so to be selected, you know, some stiff competition, including people who were national players of the year. One fellow played in the NBA, a couple guys who played in the NFL. We still have them on the waiting list, so we have some.
They'll move them along. Well,
Yeah,
you got to
we'll-
have a name for next year, so.
We have plenty to consider.
You got plenty to choose from. Congratulations
Thank
again
you
to
again.
both of you
Thank you.
for being selected, John and Frank. I'm sure that you're going to have a great night on September.
Looking forward to it.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Bring your family and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Party on.
Absolutely.
Good. I have a couple of things that I'd like to mention. First of all, one of my guests that was supposed to be here was the Italian festival that's coming up, and I did want to recognize the event that's coming up. I think I have a slide on that, but I'm not quite sure. The Italian festival is coming up, and they're having a great, wonderful music. They're going to be having the Rogues. They're having Grand Central Station, I believe, and that's going to be on the, I hope I got the right date, the 9th, I believe it is, of September. That's going to be the same day of the Greek festival, as well as the, we've got the Greek, the art, Stockade Art Show, I believe, and I don't know, I have to get all my dates right. But I do want to recognize that they're doing a really wonderful job of bringing a tradition of the Italian festival, the music, the food. Please, I know that Rowie could not be here, and I did want to recognize what's happening there, and then I hope that you'll all enjoy that. We have a lot of things going on, as I mentioned. Don't forget the Scottish Games and other events that are coming up. I am so happy to be here, and we've got a great lineup coming up in the next show. Let me tell you who's coming up. We have a guitarist coming on, and his name is Gary Bucking, and the thing, he's with the Bell Billies. I gotta get that right. Bill Belly. I'll get it right. He'll correct me anyway. And we're going to be talking about the Holocaust essay, and Robert Michaels has been the director there, and he's going to be handing the torch off to another person, and we're going to find out about that. The Stockade Art Show, as I mentioned, we'll be talking about that and their art that they have, and they're bringing an artist with them. We're going to be talking about paranormal research. I know that we talked about Halloween a little bit, but paranormal research is not just Halloween. It's actually going in and trying to figure out what's going on in houses or places. He'll tell us more. The other guest that is coming on is with the Lustgarten research, pancreatic research. Pancreatic research is so important because when we look at the cases of pancreatic cancer, it's quite difficult to diagnose, and when you do diagnose it, sometimes it's too late to really tackle everything that needs to be done. But they will tell us about the current research that's being done, and the last that I heard that there was a blood test that they were working on. So we're hoping that that will come up okay, and maybe it will save a lot more lives. Again, I want to thank you all for watching. I'm Ann Perillo. I'm the host of Capital Region Today, and thank you for watching.